what's up everybody? It's Josh again, back in my whip. Got the McLaren out today, driving no hands, no problems, like I always say. And today, we are in here because we are going to be doing our first ever video game review. And to kick things off, I wanted to do one that was very close to my heart, probably my favorite game of all time. So I guess going into it, just know I'm a little biased, but I wanted to do this for my first ever review. So today, we're going to be doing Sonic Adventure, originally released in 1999 for the Sega Dreamcast. Just a little background, this was the first game I remember personally playing as a kid and beating. I always loved this story, it took me forever to beat. My sister and I play it all the time, and to this day I still come back to it. I play it on the Dreamcast. I also own the digital copy on the Xbox One, which is what we'll be reviewing today. So that's just a little background. So in this review, we will be looking at three things to determine a final score. We're going to be looking at plot, the gameplay, and replayability. We're going to be judging each one of those factors independently, and then we'll do a final review at the end. So let's check it out. Alrighty, let's begin with plot. Spoilers ahead, I should say.
The train headed for the Mystic Ruins will be departing
as
soon.
you can see up in the top right hand corner are my scores, and on plot I gave it a 9 out of 10, which you might be thinking, Josh, that's pretty liberal of you to be throwing out a 9 on your first review. And to that I say, you're probably right, but in my defense, like I said, this was the first game I ever played and beat as a kid, so I absolutely adore this game. And honestly, objectively, out of all the stories that have come out of Sonic games in recent years, none of them really take itself seriously. Brand, they just kind of throw all the old characters together in like a celebration.
Didn't you see a stone with an ice pattern on it?
Sonic Generations here, which I love that game. But the story leaves a lot to be desired for me. I definitely preferred in the early 2000s when Sega created games like this. Sonic Adventure, Sonic Adventure 2. I love their stories. I hope they do a remake at some point or bring back that style of game. I know they kind of bombed that Sonic 06. But I don't think that game failed because of the story. I think that story actually was kind of ridiculous, but had a lot of potential. But it was really the gameplay that screwed it up, not the story. And I think they should go back to something like that. But that's the end of my tangent on Sonic stories. Let's get into the backstory on here. Classic Sonic. So you're racing in the beginning. You start out as Sonic the Hedgehog. You're racing Dr. Eggman, your nemesis, get the Chaos Emeralds. In this case, here's spoilers by the way. Dr. Eggman is after all the Chaos Emeralds to give to this ancient beast called Chaos. Dr. Eggman read stone tablets, as he calls them, that if he gives Chaos all of these emeralds,
like a piece of the Master Emerald.
Basically it'll give him power to create Robotnik Land and rule the world. So that's a setup, and along the way you meet Sonic's friends, you meet Tails early on. He helps you get Chaos Emeralds. Here's where you meet Knuckles right here. Listen to that sweet jazz.
What do you think you're doing?
Song, which is another perk of this game, I'll go to point out. The music is great.
Hand
which is
over
a
the
common
emerald
theme among
now.
Sonic games. They always have great music.
That's not gonna happen, buddy.
So yeah, here's where you meet Knuckles, and as you can see, there's a little bit of a tiff. Knuckles is confused. He got duped by Eggman. That Sonic is after Master Emerald pieces, which are separate from Chaos Emeralds, as you see there. Chaos Emeralds. Master Emerald is what Knuckles protects. That's his whole storyline. There are 6 different playable characters in this game, which we'll go into a little bit. And that is Knuckles' whole thing.
You guys are too easy.
And here you can see after their fight, oh no, Sonic and Tails lose the Chaos Emeralds.
A Chaos Emerald.
Knuckles realizes he's been duped.
I don't need you.
And there's a lot more levels that are in between this, a lot more happens. But then eventually you end up on Eggman's ship. where he retrieves his robot servant B102 Gamma, also a playable character, a great character by the way. He's got his own tragic storyline. This is my own personal pitch right now. I hope Sega brings back E102 Gamma in some capacity. Either create a storyline where he can come back. I think he's a great character, great story. But anyways, you meet up with them, and Eggman tells Gamma to kill Sonic, and they fight. Sonic's gonna take him out here.
Please stop!
Amy? That's one of Eggman's clunkers! Out of my way!
No! He helped me before by letting me escape. This robot is different. You don't need to hurt him, okay?
Amy!
Amy!
Okay, I guess I'll let him go then.
So Sonic sees the errors of his way, even though the robot was just about to kill him, and decides to let him go. Meanwhile...
We're fresh out of time! Take Amy and clear out, fast!
What about you?
I'll nail that Eggman! Can't let him escape!
I knew you would save me, Sonic! You're my hero!
So yeah, then the egg carrier goes down, Sonic confronts Eggman in chaos, they all escape, there's more levels, more fights for everybody involved in the story. But overall, I won't spoil everything, but you got a little taste. Great story, they took it seriously, maybe a little ridiculous for you, but I love it. Now let's go on to gameplay. We're going to divide it into 6 segments. And these 6 segments are going to represent the 6 different playable characters I mentioned earlier. First we have Sonic, the main character, and he is all about speed, getting from point A to point B as quick as you can. In addition to his regular running and jumping, you saw there, he gets to snowboard, and additionally, there's other bonus stages where he gets to fly planes right here. So, if you've ever played Sonic, you're like, man, if only he was flying a plane. Need I say more? But overall, Sonic's got the most extensive campaign, by far the most levels, probably the most challenging too, in my opinion, overall. Next up, we have fun to play, I should say. Next up, we have Tails, who the concept of his gameplay is pretty similar to Sonic. You're getting from point A to point B, but there are 2 major differences. First, you're racing against an opponent, usually Sonic, as you see right here. The other difference is that you get to fly. Tails' abilities is to Tails. This allows you to basically break the game in a lot of ways, if we're being honest. I didn't realize it as a kid, but as I grew up and played the stage, I realized you can beat it for like 30 to 50 seconds. But I kind of like that. It's a good warm-up. So whenever you play Sonic Adventure, you play his levels first, because they're easiest. But next up, we have Knuckles the Echidna. So, like I said, he's after his Master Emerald pieces. So that sets up his gameplay to, he's in these big open levels, and there's 3 pieces that he's got to find. There's a radar piece, and he looks for them. And here we have Amy, 4th character. Pink Hedgehog is always after Sonic, his affection. Her levels are, they're kind of there's only 3 of them, so it doesn't take long to get through. It's probably the best thing I can say about it. I really don't know why Sega included her gameplay. It doesn't really add a whole lot, in my opinion. But man, it's nothing compared to what we have next. Big the Cat. He is all about fishing. So I don't really have any gameplay of him in his actual stages, so here's him just in Station Square. But yeah, he goes around fishing, looking for his frog, pal, Froggy, and that's his whole gameplay. The main thing I don't like, you can't use the officially licensed Sega Dreamcast controller, which I think is a huge miss by Sega. And last, but certainly not least, we have E102 Gamma. and this was Sega's first foray into including guns in a Sonic game, long before Shadow the Hedgehog. Maybe I'll do a review of that game down the line like this. But E102 Gamma, actually in this facet, I think they do it very well.
Mission complete.
I think they do it a lot better than they do it in the subsequent game, Sonic Adventure 2, which I'll go ahead and throw out. Really fun gameplay. So our final category, let's talk about replayability. As you can see here, this final category, I gave it a score of a 6 out of 10. And if I'm being honest with myself, even that may be a little generous. Probably just because I like this game so much. Because after you beat the main campaign, I don't really feel like there's a whole lot of in you. Now you can, as you can see, you go to the stage select, you replay stages, and if you replay, there's actually 3 different objectives. You can get more emblems in the game. They're kind of like the game's reward system for accomplishments. But game modes really aren't usually that entertaining. It's usually just get 50 rings and complete the level. So for me, it never really adds a lot. Another thing you can do, which I also want footage of, I'm sorry, but I'm just going to mention it. There's a Chow Garden. Which Chow Garden is kind of like, if you ever played Sonic, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is basically Sonic's form of Tamagotchi. So you get little 3D pets and raise them. You can race them in contests. You give them, I don't know, win prizes. It's pretty fun. Oh, better sit down while I'm driving. Ooh, that's better. So yes, that is my final score for Sonic Adventure in 2020. 7.6. Not bad for a game that's 21 years old, in my opinion. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this content, like this video, if you want to see more. If you have any ideas for games I should review, I'm open to ideas. I have an Xbox One, a Nintendo Switch, and Apple Arcade are my main options. So feel free to leave something in the comments if you have any ideas. Thanks for watching. Bye.